It's Monday, fun day. Are we having fun yet? What is happening in our world? What is happening? What the hell is happening? So I don't know if you guys were just watching the news, but now Trump is saying that because President Xi of China declared that he was going to slap 34% tariffs back on the U.S. So now Trump posts on his, instead of going to a podium and being, well, for whatever. We don't expect anything out of him. So he goes on Truth Social and just announces that, the other day he said China didn't handle it the right way. They didn't make the right play. This isn't play. And so he said that if China doesn't withdraw their additional 34% tariff on the United States by tomorrow, April 8th, then he will impose Trump will impose another 50% tariff on China on the 9th, the day after tomorrow. You can't make this stuff up. And then my friend Susie Z, I don't know if she's going to be in the chat today or not. She texted me this morning asking me if I had seen our friend Bob that created Cape Coral Life's, his post this morning. And I said I had not, but I would go and look at it. And I looked at it and it freaked me out. So I'm going to read to you what the post said, and then we're going to see what's going to happen. I need my celestial. I need some old good wisdom here. It's an celestial crystal that has a water molecule right inside here. So Tammy, my crystal teacher, one of my best friends for life, who taught all the crystal classes at the store, coveted this. So, all right. Jabby, where you been? Oh my goodness. All right. So it's all good. The card of the day is the 9 of Wands. That's the wounded warrior, the beleaguered spirit that keep on fighting even though you've got a mortal wound. You just keep going. Okay. Is the GOP going to be forced to stop Trump? Well, when I read on it, now not that many people watched my video from Friday. I thought I did a good tarot blitz on that, so I was a little surprised. So I got to a lot of questions there, and I wear my angel shirt when there's a major change needed or announcement, and we need the angels, and I always wear butterflies when we need big transformation. So I got my butterfly, I got my power Flutterby shirt on. All right. So the GOP going to be forced to stop Trump. As of Friday last week, they weren't ready to all step up, but now there's a couple more that are getting on the bandwagon. So we'll look at that again. That's a good question. And Pam Bondi just got herself in the quicksand, and we saw on Friday that she and Kristi Noem would both be in the quicksand, and Bondi's in it already. Beth Cat, it's Monday, and I'm here Monday. We're supposed to have a few storms come through tomorrow, but I just felt like today was the best day. I might be back on tomorrow at the regular time because of the craziness. So, and then we want to find out about the man that's supposed to be ordered back. El Salvador, the Maryland man. That's already gone to the Supreme Court. So I don't know how much you guys have been watching. So I'm going to ask a couple of other questions here, and then I'm going to save the big one when we get a few more people in the room, because this isn't my normal time. Arrego Garcia. Is that the father's name, Arrego Garcia? Listen, Rubio went down there to arrange these. Remember when Rubio went down to talk to the president or whatever he is, the ruler of El Salvador? He arranged all this. All he has to do is pick up a telephone. Don't tell me that BS. So Pam Bondi just slid in the quicksand. And the judges are basically saying that's what's happening. She's in quicksand. So it's gone all the way to the Supreme Court. So because she's saying we can't do anything about it. Well, that's just BS. It's just BS. All right, so we're going to ask some questions. All right. There's an ad already. And I put low ads. I keep trying, you guys. I keep trying. All right. So I wanted to come on with you. And we got another page of cups card of the day the other day, which is about watching Mother Nature. So watch Mother Nature. I don't know if you saw the message video that I did about the mockingbird flying, just like, a foot in front of me. And I was walking. I was in motion. And it went right in front of me and went up and went at the crow. So it was really awesome. It was sort of a David and Goliath thing. But, okay. So I hope they bring all of them back from El Salvador. I don't think anybody, even if you were in a gang, you can always change. There's always growth, especially in prison. And so I just don't think anybody needs to be treated like that. So even if you did something bad. All right, so that's all I'm going to say about that. Thank you for finding me on Way Positive Change on Blue Sky. Thank you for finding me there. All right. Hey, Kevin Levin. Kevin and I are going to do another collaboration. I don't remember the day because it's been crazy around here. Okay. So I also want to ask if the bromance is over because, Trump is listening to Licknut and Navarro. And Elon Musk is telling them to lay off the tariffs. So let's just see what's happening. What is happening with the relationship between Trump and Musk, Melon. And we had seen in previous readings that it would be the CEOs of companies that would, and it would be getting together with their wealthy board members or wealthy stock hedge fund operators that would get together, that they would all stand together because they're like the Republicans, they're afraid to just, stand alone. So they have to stand together in order to do this. All right, so Trump didn't like some of the talk, and maybe they're not talking today, or maybe they didn't talk yesterday because Musk voiced his opinion, made a judgment. He said it's not safe. I don't think what you're doing is safe. And then, so now he's concerned. Trump's concerned, and then they had a inbred spat. We need to laugh. And you're confused. No, you're confused. No, I'm listening to this person. No, I'm listening to this person. So neither one of them know what they're doing, and they're all over the place. They're eating Neptune soup. All right, and then he brings up what Pooty said to him. So throw another person in there. Okay, it's on ice. It's on ice. King of Swords, it's iced out. Nobody's willing to make changes that they need to make. One of them still thinking about, so Trump is still thinking about Putin, is what I'm getting. And Musk is thinking about Xi. Okay? So that's what's happening. Musk is taking the side of Xi. Trump is taking the side to do anything to enhance Putin, to help Putin. And they've drawn a line. And now they're saying, we'll look to the law. So this is on ice. And neither one of them is committed to, it isn't the tower. They weren't yelling at each other. They were able to somehow keep it civil. We may hear that there was ketchup throwing, or someone broke someone's crayon or a fork or something. All right. Now, did you protest? I got to protest, and I met my friend Susie down there. We did Cape Coral. It looked like there were a lot more people in Fort Myers. But we did good, and I did see a couple people that I knew, and I met new people, and we had a couple of Trump supporters. We got a lot of birds out the window. We had some birdies thrown at us, and we had words, and we had one guy on an electric scooter that had giant Trump flags. He was actually pretty funny, but we didn't have anything bad. So let's see. Even though he was playing golf, I think this bothered him. I think it bothered him, and that will lead me into the big thing I'm going to tell you. So how does Trump feel when he saw how many protests were going on? How did Trump feel when he saw how many people were participating in the protests? Because I know Republicans that are upset. I know Republicans, I went to dinner with some Republicans that were upset with what Musk was doing 2 weeks ago. So I can't even imagine, and I know for a fact that they own a good deal of stock. So I can't even imagine what cuss words are coming out of their mouths today. All right. Well, he didn't like it. And what does he do when he is opposed or doesn't agree with somebody in what they did? He gets a general to walk with him to the square and brings a Bible to swear on a Bible and has the square cleared out. He is thinking about, he wants to put down the law. He's not exactly sure how to do that, but he wants to use the military. We're getting there. We're getting there. Put a pin in that. And another military soldier. He thinks he has to overpower them. He doesn't know how to do it yet. And he thinks they were stupid. So, of course. Act like it's your birthday today. Celebrate. Celebrate. It's your birthday. It's my birthday. Not really, but really. I hired a handyman to come put in a fan for me and do a couple of things, change my sink out in the kitchen. And because I have my brother makes me birthday cards. I have other birthday cards for my grandchildren and stuff like that. I have them in the kitchen. That's all I'm going to say. But he said, is it your birthday today? Should I say happy birthday? I said, yes, it's my birthday every day. And he just went, like a dog. Okay. He did not like it. He didn't like it at all. Not with a fox, not in a box. And he's not happy about it. He thinks they're stupid and he's mad. And you are going to hear retaliatory marks about the people because he won't be able to hold this in. So he hasn't done it yet, but he will. There's something coming out of his mouth very quickly about what is right and what is wrong and what Democrats, he can't say that all of those people were paid by George Soros. He can't say that. But he's going to say what's right and what's wrong. And then he says he will retaliate. And he's going to try to give somebody the ability to make this stop, to take signs away, to arrest people, to bully them and take them out. So he doesn't feel good about it at all. It made him feel like they were challenging his authority because the emperor is on its side here. So he felt challenged, and he wants this changed. Now, that's a great segue into because he wants control, because he is a knuckle-dragging Neanderthal with a big club. Okay. But, he's more like Barney Fife. And I love Barney Fife. It's an insult to Barney Fife. But he's so stupid. Well, if China doesn't take it back, then 50% more the day after that. I mean, come on. Somebody has got to get the net. And we're going to go into that. I mean, let's get the dog catcher, Okay. Now all right, now I want to read you the thing, and then we'll just clear that out, but here it goes. Okay, so Susie texted me this morning. And it was a statement that a friend of ours made on Facebook that had a announcement or post about Project 25, that 2025, that it implies that martial law will be implemented on or before January 20th. I mean, on or before April 20th, 2025, that it will be instituted or enacted on or before April 20th, 2025, because on his inauguration day on January 20th, 2025, Trump supposedly, well, everybody was worried about whether his inauguration would be indoors or outdoors. Trump supposedly signed an executive order declaring a national emergency at the southern border. And it gave the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security just 90 days, thus the April 20th date, right? Because he signed it on January 20th, to deliver a report, 90 days to deliver a report on whether he should invoke the Insurection Act, as implied and suggested in Project 2025. That deadline is April 20th. It would give him authority to deploy the U.S. Insurection Act that was passed in 1807, and it would he could deploy the U.S. military on U.S. soil, and that means we would have troops in our cities, bypassing governors, suspending protests, any protests, and I just want to see, or protesting rights, just dissolving them, getting rid of protesting rights. Will he invoke the Insurrection Act, and will he be successful? So that's what I'm going to ask. Did you get all that? So on January 20th, he signed, executive signed an order declaring a national emergency at the southern border. And that gives the Department of Defense and Homeland Security 90 days to deliver a report on whether he should invoke, on their referral, their recommendation that he should sign, which is going to be, who, Hegseth, Bondi, Gabbard, and the other stooges, the Insurrection Act. And the deadline is in a matter of days. So let's see if he's going to do it, because he's mad now. He's mad. And he's going to retaliate, and he becomes the Five of Swords, like it or not, fair or not. So he'll try it. So will Trump get the referral from the DOD and Department of Defense and Homeland Security that says, well, first, will they recommend to Trump that he go ahead and invoke the Insurection Act? Will the Department of Defense, so we're going to ask 3 questions. Pardon me. I got so upset. Will the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security recommend that Trump invoke and sign an executive order to enact the Insurection Act? Yes or no? One of them will. The other one struggles with it. But they have made a pact previous to this, that this is what they're instructed to do. Now, this leads me to believe, because this lady always comes up, and somehow it's Avril Haines or another very important lady with something written that has dark hair and in a position of prominence, or that was in a position of prominence, or that's in there currently. All right. Somebody doesn't want to do it. Now, will they do it? Anyway, there's an argument. They both don't agree. So the heads of these two departments don't agree. That causes a fight, and that causes the orange orangutan to have a fit, a conniption fit. Or something more happens. There could possibly something more that happens. And he will talk to them, and he will tell them, this is what I want from you. But there is some damning piece of evidence or report that just blows his plans right out of the water. And I don't think it'll be just the Queen of Pentacles. I think it'll be other females as well. So it's always come down to three queens, hasn't it? Since day one, since before the pandemic, it's always come down to three queens. But now it's three females. The dance of the graces. All right, but let's see. Will anyone stop him from signing that executive order? Will anyone stop him? Because he'll try to go over the one that is hesitant. Will anyone successfully stop Trump from signing the Insurection Act? Oop. Will anyone be successful at stopping Trump from signing the Insurection Act? Now, I just saw that the meeting between Netanyahu, thank you, Harriet, thank you very much. And he's already there. And Trump has been canceled. Now, why is that? Perhaps they both shouldn't be in the same room. That's all I'm saying. Okay, he wants to. Trump wants to sign it, but there's going to be someone that will be filled with hopium. Let's hope it's not a drug. Okay, so someone that is well known will speak to him. And we'll try to talk him down off the ceiling. We'll try to tell him, let's take this other approach. However, that's not very successful. Someone may take a secret avenue. Someone may expose or tell information that, and I'm not talking about a drunk text, someone may take a secret route or a secret maneuver in order to get to him, because what he's doing is foolish. And this is a chance. They're taking a chance to try to get him to stop. There is not an agreement. There is a fight. Someone offers even to pay him or give him something else that he wants. Distract the baby so you can take their lollipop. And then they will be successful at getting him to stop. Or diverting his attention for a while. But some maneuver, some proposition, some maneuver will work to this person's advantage. Okay? There's hope. There's a big, big ass struggle, but there is hope. Now, will Trump ultimately, will he declare martial law by invoking the Insurection Act? Will he be successful with that? Even though there's that person gets him to stop. I mean, how many days are there in a week? Will Trump be successful? That's not successful there, but he hangs in there. He'll keep trying. This blow to his ego, this thing that explodes, goes off. He's trying to hang on to control, and he won't let go of the idea of it. He's like a pit bull with this. So this is not Putin up here, but someone else stops him. I feel that somebody else gets in the way with this hangman here. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. Because if he did talk to Putin would say, do it. You know, he would say, do it. So but there's law here. The Hierophant card and the Temperance card are bigger than this 4 and this King and the Hangman. So the law or government, someone is able to delay or stall or get rid of. Okay, so now I also want to ask about impeachment, because I feel like that is one thing we can do. All right. All right, can everybody see? Can everybody hear me okay? Or did I just see the word microphone? Okay. All right. Why was the meeting between Netanyahu and Trump canceled? Okay, thank you, Beth Cap. Why was the meeting between Netanyahu canceled? Netanyahu and Trump. That's a good question, Bebo. I wondered if he's been beaten. Not Netanyahu, but I wonder if that guy that was sent to El Salvador, I wonder if he's been beaten. All right. Well, Trump is in a foul mood. He's in a foul mood, and he was an ass. Somebody could have had a health issue here with this sword, and it just came to a full stop. I wonder if Trump is getting word from a high executive about this report coming to the forefront. This looks likely to me. He's catching wind of this. Not anyone's downwind from him, but there's rumors. There's stuff swirling in the air, and he doesn't want to admit it. So he's got bigger fish to fry. There's nothing he needs to discuss with Netanyahu right now. He's so mad about the war. Thank you, Jennifer. That's very sweet of you. He's very upset about the Ukraine situation. was talking to somebody else, another important leader, and then he's just got to take these phone calls because he dug this ditch. Let's see if he knows. Let me write down her name. So, has Trump been made aware that someone has a report they're ready to publish that is damaging to him? Has Trump been made aware that somebody with intelligence and credentials has damning evidence to release? Because the Fool card keeps coming up. So he's really, I don't know what's going on with his astrology, but it's not good. Whatever it isn't good because he's just a fool. Hi, Lynn. No, he canceled the meeting with Netanyahu. The meeting between Netanyahu and him is canceled. It was breaking news. Okay, there she is. Listen, I think somebody has told him there's a problem. And I think it's taken him off balance, even more off balance than he already is. Yeah, something written. Page Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. And even messages coming in from overseas, so that could be NATO. I feel like he's getting some idea because I think this is a written report. And there's emotion about it, but it's not the other part is not from here. It's from someone from overseas. So maybe this is more to do with NATO than it does to do with her. That is my interpretation of that spread. I feel like NATO. Something comes from NATO first before her. And that has him agitated. But he's getting bits and pieces. Okay. Let's ring the bell. I want to know will the GOP start to gather together now? Will a couple more brave GOP people, senators, anybody, will the senators gather more people to their side to help stop the maniac? Will there be a couple more senators that will turn today and tomorrow that will join with the other GOP senators, Murkowski, Collins, McConnell? Grassley, and there's another one. A couple more GOP senators gather together to stop Trump with the tariffs and to stop him. I just read on that, Jan. Okay. I feel like Trump is possibly in a rage, and he may be having a little bit of a health issue, or Netanyahu, somebody, there's just too much going on. I feel like they talked, but they just weren't going to have a press conference about it. It would take up too much time. There's another female that'll come on board here. Who was the fourth person? It was McConnell, Murkowski, Collins. Who was the last, that other? Rand Paul. Thank you, Curious Cindy. Bless you. Okay. I feel like there'll be another female coming over to the side here. There'll be another one that will defect. This will help. The answer is yes. So even behind the scenes, they're talking about this, but there will be at least one more today, tomorrow, perhaps another, one more female will, for sure. And then I get another defector down here. So, but the answer is yes, because this is now their money, right? And they're getting calls from corporations in their state. You know, what big corporations have manufacturing companies or factories in which state? And so you know who they're talking to, right? All right. Will the GOP be successful in stopping Trump? And then I'll ask about the House. But will the GOP, will the Republican senators? Well, let's go ahead and ask about the House now. All right. House, Senate. All right, let's ask. Will there be any? My stomach's going to growl. I ran over with the reading a little bit, and I'm hungry. Sorry. Oh, it could be. It could be anonymous. All right. Will any Republican representatives in the House take forward action in stopping Trump? Will any Republican representatives in the House, besides Chuck Grassley, or he's a senator, will any Republicans representatives in the House cross over to help the Democrats, or just even to say that he will stand up to Trump, or he or she? Because we have to work together. Okay, there's a male. And remember, a lot of those, like Jim Jordan, etc., have been paid by oligarch. They got the oligarch money, and they're probably still on a pay list. Okay, they're eating their Wheaties, they're gathering their courage, they're drinking their Red Bull. And they'll be like an offer. Well, you know, maybe we can help you with this. It's a little timid, but you know, to begin with, maybe we can. It could be. It's like, how do you bait a baby? You know, try to take away the lollipop by giving it a pacifier or an egg to suck on. All right, so this is a yes. And they've talked to somebody in the Senate, and they're like, come on, we need your help over there. And this is a yes. Even though Russia will try to stand in the way and say, if you do this, you're not getting money and you will be exposed. It's going to happen. It is going to happen because now we have 3 here. I don't know how many we need, but at this point, we could have 4. I got 3 here and 1 over here. So with this offer. So how much? I think we need 4. Don't we need 4? Okay. Anyway, I'm getting a yes, even though there's threats coming from the oligarchs and to take away, and I'll expose your past associations with us. And who's been paid by who. They are trying to work out a plan. They are trying to do it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's, okay, that's good. This is what I'm getting. That's a good statement. There's more. Okay. Will, because I didn't put impeachment in there. I put tariffs, Insurection Act, and martial law. Maybe we'll wait to do impeachments for tomorrow. Let's look at the tariffs. Will Xi Jinping and Trump, the leader of China and the stooge of America, be able to come to an agreement to stop this tariff war? Will they get on the phone? Will they get on the stooge phone? Will they make an agreement? Will Xi Jinping and Trump make an agreement to stop this tariff war? Yes or no? Simpsons saw who unalive by 4/11? The Orange Menace? That's okay, Laura. I don't usually come on Mondays, but after I saw what was posted, I just felt like, from a very reliable source, this is a person with a political background, that posted that about the signing, and then the Department of Defense and Homeland Security. So this is about Xi and Trump. Will they be able to met this out? There's talk up here. There's the bullying over here. Here's talk. I think Putin's getting a kick out of this. Someone's walking away. There's the eclipse. One of these two people was directly impacted by the energy of the eclipse and is walking away. They both hope they can both hope in their whatever heart or not heart or whatever they have, that they can work it out, and then they also are fear that they can't work it out. One of them might lie to the other and say they'll work it out and do it anyway. One of them very well could lie. And Xi doesn't trust Trump, with good reason. We don't trust Xi Jinping, with good reason. So how can they possibly have an honest agreement? They can't. So someone will lie. And there will be words, and they're not going to be ones you can say here on YouTube. All right, so that doesn't go good. Now, will they be able to work this out in 7 days? Will they be able to will Xi Jinping and Trump be able to work it out in 7 days after they spat? Boy, Putin has his say in there. Oof, something comes to an end. Whoa. Somebody's not coming out of this very well. Whoa. Whoa. And an announcement. The death card can also mean something that transforms, like the end of one way, the beginning of a new way. And in a relationship, it can mean make it or break it. So don't be afraid if you're doing a reading on a relationship and you get the death card, because they could be at make it or break it point. And then so an announcement ensues after that. There's no talking, they've had enough, and then there's a change. So what happens? What happens exactly between Xi Jinping and Trump? Please, guides and angels. What happens between Xi Jinping and Trump? It causes a lot of anxiety, and one of them wants to just wipe the slate clean and start over, and will send an envoy for negotiations and try to, it's a gamble, and try to make it better. Okay, all right. And then somebody's very reluctant. Someone's lying and not playing fair. One person in this is a cheater, liar, and it's, well, it could be either one of them. One of them is dishonest. So this deal will be made like a false facade of a building, right? And that's built on sand, or the building is built on sand. So it doesn't hold. So it's tenuous, somewhat of an agreement, and then somebody sneaks it back in there somehow, pulls a dirty one. All right. Will Xi Jinping will they call in their debts, or will they power play, or will they cause us economic problems? Will Xi Jinping causing American citizen economic problems? Not ones that are seen. They're ones that have to be detected. They will make things unstable. And the answer is yes. So it could hurt in the long run, and it hurts. This is what I kept getting yesterday when we did our members class, and I did mini readings for members. We kept coming up with this. So we sort of get frozen. We're afraid to spend. Something to do with all the pentacles of money that we spend, and we get frozen. But usually we're okay, but things could freeze. All right, now let's see. 49 minutes ago. All right, let's see what's happening between Trump and Putin. What's happening between Trump and Putin? What's going on between Trump and Putin? Excuse me. What's happening between Trump and Putin? Putinsky, Putineska, the Pudmeister, the Pudini, the Pudinarama, the Pudinsky. I already said that one. The Puderino. All right. Control. It's all about control, and someone wants money, and they can't agree about the war still. They do want stability, though. Maybe they both agree that they want stability. Will the Pudster sign a peace treaty? Will Putin sign a peace treaty? One of them won't let go. He's willing to give something, but it isn't a lot. It's a page on its side. He wants money too. When more stuff hits the fan, food will come around a little bit. That's what I'm getting. Thank you, L. Black. That's very kind of you. Okay. Now, will the tariffs go away? Will the tariffs go away? Yes or no? Tomorrow we'll ask about impeachment, because that is possible. Will the tariffs go away? Will the tariffs that Trump imposed, will they go away? Will they be taken down, retracted, or go away? Well, you know, the Pood has something on Trump. He's got PP tapes and something else. He's got something on Melania. He probably knows Epstein stuff. Okay. He will relent with someone. There are offers made, and he will relent with someone. There's fights. He just keeps coming up as a fool. Everything he's doing in the past 72 hours and the next, he just comes up as a fool. He has no idea. He has no earthly idea what he's doing. He doesn't even know that Hegseth and all of the others were on signal. He has no idea. He doesn't know. His own Treasury Secretary doesn't know anything. These are smaller tariffs, so they could be whittled back. There are offers. Someone doesn't want to budge. Boy, I don't know how often Trump talks to Putin, but he tells him, just be like me. Just do it exactly the way I do it, and you'll be fine. That's what he tells him. Every time he talks to him, that's what he tells him. He will get smaller tariffs. How does this end? He will get smaller tariffs, and he'll say, see, we got this. We got this. How does this end? How will we feel? How will we feel about the economic situation and the tariffs? When this is over and negotiations have been made, how will we feel? Every time I ask about the economy and how it affects us, I get the Eight of Swords. So we're in sort of analysis paralysis. Everyone's in the economic community or the corporate sector is waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know? So it's just like, what temper tantrum will he throw and what happens and how does it destabilize things? And who will have enough presence to overrule big balls, and who will actually have big balls? We're not talking mothballs. We're not talking those little Italian balls that get in the freezer section. They get smaller and smaller every year. What was that sign? Oh my God, my favorite sign that Ron Filipkowski posted. It was one of his favorite. He had the top 15 signs and said, one of the signs says the only person that Trump ever hired that actually did their job was Stormy Daniels. I loved it. I loved it. That made me laugh out loud. I loved it. She did her job. Well, we'll be mad, and there will be fights, and we will think of him as being a fool at his cuts, and that was foolish, and now we're seen as being fools. We're going to come out of it okay. We're going to come out of it okay. We may feel more alone, but we're going to come out of it all right. So economically, how do we do then? I think this had a lot more to do with Putin, with his discussion. He was on the phone with Putin for 2 hours. You know they were talking about this. He doesn't think that much of Navarro, and I know that what Navarro did and about Jared Kushner introducing him to Navarro and about Navarro's false hero that was actually made of his own name, Navarro with different letters. There was no famous person. This all has to do with that 2-hour talk he had with Putin and any subsequent talks after that. Okay. So how will you and I do economically? How will the regular person do? I mean, he's rendered Congress feckless. He just keeps executing orders all over their heads. They're all going to lose their jobs. So they might as well, I mean, they may think, well, I get voted out, I still got another year or something like that. But this is just upside down and all around. Well, we'll give up. We'll feel like the eclipse time really did a number on us. And we won't be going for things that were on our shiny list before. We will help each other. We'll feel ungrounded. And we may have poverty thought consciousness, and we can't let ourselves go there. And we may feel like things look bleak, and we can't let ourselves go there because that's an illusion. Right? My income is constantly increasing. I prosper wherever I go. And then put in there, I'm beautiful and everyone loves me. Go ahead and say it for yourself. It's the truth. Everyone loves you. You're beautiful and everyone loves you. I prosper wherever I go. All right, so here's the 9 of Pentacles again. We're going to be okay. He either gets removed and things are restored to some modicum of balance or something. We could even be joyous. Why would we be joyous? We would be happy if this all ended, but we wouldn't be truly having a party and feel like we accomplished something and feeling love and joy and have great announcements if he wasn't, buying tickets to the park or got caught up in a net for entertainment purposes. So we're going to be okay. Now, it could take a little while. We may feel a little cagey. Oh, thank you, Miss Judy. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Oh, my camera held up today. I haven't worked on I'm still working on my taxes, guys. It's taxes first and then the new computer. I did go purchase it, though, in case everything went kaflooey. Okay. Now, will Arrego Garcia come back to the United States? Every time we asked about Brittany Griner and the other guy that was held over there for a long time, and we always, our guides and angels gave us really good information, and that when it happened, it would happen very quickly. And okay, now the meeting was canceled. I'm seeing in the background the meeting was canceled, and now it could be just the press part of it, and Netanyahu and Trump are talking now. So I felt that they would go ahead and talk. They might just not do the press part of it. So the angels, listen, we're getting help from friends and old acquaintances and people we thought were family, and other people are getting help, and the angels are on top of it. So we're gonna do good. Okay. Okay. All right, let's look and see. Yeah, they're talking now. Let's look and see. There you go, Joe G. All right. The angels are on top of it. I want to know if he was beaten. Was Arrego Garcia beaten? I feel that he was, but the angels are on top of it. Someone helped him. I feel that he will come back. Does he come back alive? I'm hoping. Maybe let's take this positively, that his confinement has come to an end. All right. I'm going to stick with that Temperance card and the 6 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. I'm going to stick with that. I shouldn't have done that other spread. All right. Let's see if we can meet up again tomorrow. But I think tomorrow I'll start at 12. I had to rearrange a reading for somebody emergently. Yeah, Trump could be easily blackmailed. Absolutely. Okay. Definitely. Okay. We're going to find out what it is. All right. How does the rest of Trump's April go? I'm sneaking that one in here. Okay. He's trying to bully more. He's trying to bully more, but someone's going to bully him. I was going to try to keep it under an hour. Okay. How does the rest of Trump's April go? Thank you, Evelyn. Sebastian's in. Hey. Autumn from Black and Orange. We need to do a visit. I came on today because everything's so crazy. Okay. It's very ungrounded, and he's led completely by Putin. He's doing whatever Putin has told him to do. Government is on its side, so he's trying to overrule government. But I feel he's trying to overrule Congress. He's going to try to overrule the Supreme Court. And don't email me and tell me, because that's what, and he's talking to Netanyahu right now, and Netanyahu was trying to do it before the attack in October happened. Remember when all the people were protesting downtown? He was trying to say that Netanyahu would have the final word over their Supreme Court, that they could rule, but he would have the final ruling. And Trump is going to try to do the same thing. He's going to try to do the same thing. And so he's ungrounded, but he's still hanging in there. So we got something significant in June on Sheila's channel. When we did that collaboration, it was at the last 10 minutes of that reading. That was on Celtic, Sheila. All right, let's look and see. What do guides and angels want us to know for this next 24 hours of craziness? And autumn's getting ready to go on, so we got to get out. Okay. All right. There are talks. The representatives are talking. The House is talking. The Senate is talking. They're trying. They don't have everybody all together yet. This hasn't all formulated. It's tenuous at best. It's not grounded, but they're trying to come back with some sort of action that can stifle him or make him sit down. So there are people, and there could be an outside influence that may try to take an action. I think we're going to see that. All right. There's our Six of Cups again. So you hang on. Past alliances, people from the past, people that used to like each other before things got crazy, even in the Congress. Some of the older senators and representatives that actually worked together before are going to be able to do it again. So just hang on. We don't like what we're seeing, and we don't want to listen, and we don't like it, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. Okay? Oh. Okay. Sebastian just finished. All right, so I got my times messed up. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, so listen, there's a plan formulating, but it's going to be slow. It's very slow. There's a lot of fear. Not everybody's all on the same page. They don't all have their team player hat on. They don't have that hat on. Okay, but hang in there. We're getting help. There's help coming, and there's going to be other people that come in to try to manipulate the orange one. So just hang in there. Don't worry. Don't overreact. We're okay. We'll be called to. We'll be protesting again. All right, you guys, hang in there. All right, hang in there. Much love to you. Sebastian, I hope to see you soon. We all need to stick together, right? We did good. We did good today. Thank you for subscribing if you're new. Thank you to all that have been with me through this long run. And I'll see you tomorrow. And thanks for the super chats. Thank you. Thank you, moderators.